Hello and welcome to Housing TV News at the top of the hour, coming to you from our studios in the nation's capital. I'm Joyce also. Our top stories. Senate advances bill to end exportation of raw materials. Southern lawmakers throw weight behind tax reform bill. FCT workers kick over January date for minimum wage. Rivers APC set up 9-man panel to investigate Secretariat bombing. On the foreign scene, Northern Ireland executive endorses pledge for 100,000 homes by 2039. We begin with the Senate. A bill seeking to mandate domestic processing of at least 30% of raw materials before exportation has passed a second reading in the Senate. Sponsored by Senator Onwaiboye Peter, the bill aims to amend the Raw Materials Research and Development Council Act 2024, introducing provisions for local processing and production protection. In his lead debate at Tuesday's plenary, Senator Onwaiboye highlighted the transformative potential of the bill for Nigeria's economy. He argued that mandating local processing would boost local manufacturing industries, create jobs for Nigerians, reduce dependence on imports, and the demand for foreign exchange.
This legislation aims to boost local manufacturing, enhance job creation, and reduce overdependency on importation, and mandating, I repeat, and mandating that no raw material be exported outside Nigeria without undergoing at least 30% processing domestically.
After deliberations, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, put the bill to a voice vote where the majority of lawmakers voted in favor, allowing the bill to scale its second reading.
Bill for an act to provide for the establishment of raw materials, processing and local production protection, and for later matters 2024, second reading taken. And this bill is now referred to the Committee on Science and Technology to be brought back to the Senate in 6 weeks.
And a similar developments, the Senate also gave approval for the establishment of the Federal University of Mining and Geoscience, JOS. The passage of the bill followed the consideration of a report by the Committee on Tertiary Institutions and TET Fund. Chairman of the committee, Senator Mohammed Muntari, said that establishing the Federal University of Mining and Geoscience will deepen research on mineral exploration in Nigeria.
That the Senate do receive and pass the bill for an act to repeal the Nigeria Institute of Mining and Geoscience Act 2018 and establish the Federal University of Mining and Geoscience, JOS, to make comprehensive provision for its due management and administration for related matters 2024 as recommended. In conclusion,
Senator representing Plateau Central, Senator Dickett Plank, who sponsored the bill, said that establishing the institution will enable Nigeria to build the domestic human capacity, knowledge and skills required for the development of the mining sector.
the public hearing of this bill was overwhelming, where we have even the governor of Plateau, the Bongom of Jos, and 6 first-class traditional rulers and various stakeholders in the mining institute came. I feel that this bill is another opportunity for us to have a university of mines where Nigerians and Nigerian in totality is blessed with minerals. And if God has blessed us with mineral resources, it becomes our duty to deepen our knowledge in the area of where we are gifted, so that the exploration, exploitation, and mining of minerals will be done by Nigerians themselves.
Following a clause-by-clause consideration, the Senate passed the bill for a third reading.
A bill for an act to repeal the Nigerian Institute of Mining and Geosciences Act 2018 and establish the Federal University of Mining and Geosciences, JOS, and for related matters 2024, third reading taken. Distinguished colleagues, a bill for an act to repeal the Nigerian Institute of Mining and Geosciences Act 2018 and to establish the Federal University of Mining and Geosciences, JOS, and for related matters, 2024, third reading taken and passed. Let me thank my colleagues for their contributions and also congratulate the good people of Plateau State for this additional university that is specifically targeted at the mining sector. And congratulate all Nigerians that yes, indeed, we will now have value addition, and then we will now focus more on mining as a major revenue source for the country. I think this is a step in the right direction.
The Southern federal lawmakers in the House of Representatives have thrown their weight behind the tax reform bill introduced by the presidency to both chambers of the National Assembly. This is coming after a crucial caucus meeting held by the lawmakers in support of the bill, which they say will help address the numerous economic challenges that has crippled the economy of the country for some years now.
Don't quote me out of context. I say we have met the Southern Caucus in the House of Representatives. We have met and we welcome the bill, and that we are open to dialogue. We have not gone beyond that. You are not saying we are supporting the bill. I didn't say so. We are open to dialogue. This is just the first process. But just to inform you that we have received the bill, we welcome the bill, and then we are open to dialogue.
At every point in time, there's no bill that has a national outlook that there won't be interests colliding one way or the other. But our job is to sit down with our brothers, find a middle course. And I'll go back to history. The derivative, the 13% that is being gotten by oil producing states started with 50%. Recently we did the PIB. We had issue with the host community bill as well. So there's negotiation back and forth. At the end of the day, Nigerians will be better for it. Yes. Negotiation is an art. We'll sit down, go back and forth, exchange, make them see reason, we see reason, and we all ensure that this matter comes to a logical end that will be in the interest of the good people of Nigeria.
Mr. President has signed an executive bill. What the Southern Caucus is saying is that we are ready to take up our official responsibility of making laws for the nation. And so we welcome the bill, and that as we process it, inputs are made from our various states and constituencies. Some states have already received those inputs. And so we are in consonance with our constituents and the states that we represent. And so we are ready to work to ensure that we give a better tax law to Nigeria. That's what we are interested in. It's not to play to the gallery. There's nothing about being Southern or Northern divide. The National Assembly's responsibility is to make laws for this country. And the essence of making laws is to receive proposals. When you receive proposals, you put them through the crucibles processes of lawmaking. At the end of the day, amendments, innovations will be brought into that proposal.
The tax reforms bill has been generating serious reactions from various sections of the country since its introduction. The leadership of the All Progressives Congress in Rivers State has set up a 9-man committee panel headed by the party's legal advisor, Kelechi Onwuzi, to investigate the bombing of its secretariat in the state on October 5, 2024. Chairman of the APC in the state, Tony Okocha, announced the setting up of the committee at a media briefing shortly after a meeting of the newly elected state executive at the party's secretariat in Port Harcourt, the state capital. Okocha said the setting up of the panel was necessary on the basis that the incident at the APC secretariat was not considered heinous enough to be included in the panel set up by the governor, Similaye Fubara.
Our office was bombed, and he knew about it. This report from police was flying everywhere. It's on social media, and refused, blatantly to set up a committee that will include us. We will help ourselves. We have agreed to set up our own panel of inquiry. The panel will be empowered, will be empaneled to extend invitations to anybody is above the law. Invite people. We are hearing stories and gossips of what will happen and what happened. But we cannot agree to it. But it is your duty to isolate these points and then give us a report of what happened to our party secretary.
Okocha, while reiterating the importance of the resumption of production at the Port Harcourt refinery, stated that with the current exchange rate of the naira to the dollar, it will boost the economic well-being of the country.
When you see a man that carries vision, and God also gives him grace, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. The man owned up to say, whatever happens in the country, in Nigeria, within my period, please don't say sorry, because I worked for it, I spoke for it, I danced for it, and I'm here. So it is my responsibility. He said so. The other issue to commend Mr. President is for the up and running of the Port Harcourt refinery. Critics, pundits had concluded that project was going to be a wide goose chase and that nothing will come out of it. But Mr. President promised Nigerians that he was going to reline the Port Harcourt refinery, and we have seen it in action.
In another development, the governor of Ondo State, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, has presented a budget proposal of 655,230 million naira for the 2025 fiscal year to the State House of Assembly. The sum of 248.923 billion naira, representing 37.99% of the total budget, is allocated for recurrent expenditure, while 460.307 billion naira, representing 62.0% of the budget, is earmarked for capital expenditure. In his address, Aiyedatiwa reiterated his administration's commitment to completing ongoing projects and fostering a more prosperous future for Ondo State, with the 2025 budget serving as a critical tool.
A total budget of 655 billion 230 million has been proposed for 2025 fiscal year. We are fully determined to explore the economic reform agenda of the federal government as encapsulated in the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, and the enormous goodwill and entrepreneurial enthusiasm of our people in the best possible way to record an economic upturn in the new year. I am confident that we shall continue to work together to ensure the restoration of relative peace and sustain it in our dear state.
In their responses, the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Olamide Oladiji, and the Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, Emmanuel Igbasa, assured the public that the budget would be scrutinized thoroughly to ensure it positively impacts every citizen.
Will be meticulously scrutinized, and by the grace of God, it will receive the required attention for speedy consideration, as we are all aware that this physical document is the bedrock of all government action, activities, transaction. It is apposite to describe it as the life force of any government.
Next year, we'll be starting a brand new administration, and we have termed the economic budget of economic recovery, because as we know, most of us have felt the pains or the pangs of the twin policy of fuel subsidy removal, flotation of the naira rate in diverse ways, skyrocketing prices, and high energy cost, which has impeached our well-being.
The Speaker also pledged accelerated consideration of the 2025 budget proposal by the Assembly. Now away from the Senate, the Nigeria Customs Service Oil and Gas Free Trade Zone Command, ONER, Rivers State, has announced a revenue generation of 53.98 billion naira between January and November 2024, Customs Area Comptroller Usman Sariki, who disclosed this during a press briefing at the command's headquarters in Onne, says this marks a 98.6% increase compared to the revenue collected in 2023. Sariki revealed that the command surpassed its annual revenue target for 2024 by 2.3%, underscoring its improved efficiency and dedication.
The command has demonstrated unwavering commitment to excellence, innovation in trade facilitation while maintaining regulatory compliance in this vital sector of Nigeria economy. Through the period under review, the command has ensured seamless importation and exportation of goods through licensed enterprises in the free zone. The command also oversees the activities of free zone goods received via sea here, including monitoring the value addition by licenses operating in the zone and monitoring all stack area within the zone.
Sariki, while listing notable exports facilitated by the command, emphasized the command's dedication to promoting efficiency, transparency, and adherence to customs regulations.
Major problem or challenges that we have here is the diet of personnel. But be that as it may, we know that you have to manage with whatever you have. And this we have been doing, and you can see the reflection in what the command was able to generate. If you maintain the tempo, you are sure of either breaking in 58 or even at most 60 billion. But if the working tools are provided, I'm sure the sky is not only the limit, it will be the starting point for the revenue generation in the command.
Sariki also lauded the Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adeniyi, for his leadership and strategic direction, and also appealed for more support of adequate deployment of manpower for effective and increased service delivery. A non-profit organization, Lokiaka Community Development Center, has taken a step forward to educate women on how to benefit from family inheritance without engaging in battles. Executive Director, Lokiaka Community Development Center, Martha Agbani, who sensitized women numbering over 300 in Bori, Kana local governments areas of Rivers State, said the sensitization is part of activities to commemorate the 16 days activism against gender-based violence.
About 300 Ogoni women from the 4 Ogoni LGAs down to Bori to look at affirmative actions. And we are looking at laws, and especially the law that was passed in 2020 by the Rivers State House of Assembly that talks about the prohibition of the curtailment of the rights for women to have access or inherit family property. So this is a challenge we see, and it has been causing a lot of things. We also see beyond the immediate that women who are within the reproductive age stress themselves so much to get male child or children. That is because of the notion that without a male child you cannot have access to properties or lands, and we want to stop that. To really make them understand the content of this law and make them know their rights, how they could actually apply these laws, know the issues as it affects them, and also allowing them to open up to discussion. So it was for us a sensitization, a center, a capacity building that we set up today for them.
A female activist and legal consultant, Okorite Yobo, noted the need for the state to sensitize women in the state on how to demand their rights in their various families.
Government needs to do sensitization, of course, but the onus lies on us as a people. Your rights is being abused, it's being infringed. Take a step. Do something about it. Like someone was asking, she's trying to convince a woman to come and seek help. That's the mentality. But I understand, because 25 years plus of being in the social impact space, I understand that women have been conditioned from birth to think a certain way. Like you need permission to do anything and everything. So it's a struggle for women. So it's not just on the government. As organizations, as media, everyone needs to put their hands on, on deck to get this sensitization going on, so that, and to help women build confidence and fight for their rights.
Participants at the capacity building thanked the organization for the sensitization, saying that widows in some communities in Kano are now affected by the disinheritance from their family properties.
So many things happening now in Ogoni land that if your husband died, you see brothers and sisters, they will fight over your husband's property. And you will be moving up. And some of them don't have money. Some of the women don't have money to go to court. Some of them don't know anybody. But from the teaching of today, they have gotten the idea. And I think they will make a move. Like the widow, they have gotten the idea today. So the teaching of today have given us a lot to understand where we stand and where we go. It's a very good lecture.
What I understand today from this program is that women have right to inherit property, their father property. It's the only most thing important I understand today, because for my own village, if your father get property or you be woman and you want to talk about the property, they will not allow you to talk, because they will say you be woman, you will marry and come out. So the only men have right to only may have right for the father property. But today, I thank God that I came here today to observe that it's not only men that have right to our father property, women have right to. So what is today is the first day that I understand that women have right to.
In the FCT, the strike led by the Nigeria Labour Congress in the Federal Capital Territory has entered its 11th day, with negotiations between the labor unions and area council chairman at a standstill over the implementation timeline for the 70,000 naira minimum wage. Speaking to our correspondent on Tuesday, the FCT chairman of the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, Abdullahi Kabir, revealed that the area council chairman proposed a January 2025 implementation date, which the unions rejected, demanding the new wage commence in December 2024. The unions argued that delaying implementation to January would increase arrears to 5 months, whereas starting in December would reduce it to 4 months. We'll take a pause here. News stories from the build sector are up next. Stay with us. Welcome back. Glad to have you join us on Housing TV News at the top of the hour. Now to the build sector, where the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Architect Ahmed Musa Dangiwa, has affirmed that the progress so far recorded under the Renewed Hope Cities and Estate program, alongside the housing units delivered by the agencies of the Ministry, Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, and the Federal Housing Authority, shows that the ministry is clearly on course to meet close to an annual target of 20,000 housing units. Dangiwa made this affirmation during the presentation of the Q1 to Q3 2024 Performance Assessment Report. with the Special Assistant to the President on Policy and Coordination and Head of Central Results Delivery Coordination Unit, Hadiza Bala Usman. Delivering his speech, Dangiwa appreciated the continuous monitoring from the CRDCU team, saying that it has kept the ministry on alert and ready to deal with problems. In her remarks and presentation, the Special Advisor to the President on Policy and Coordination and Head of Central Results Delivery Coordination Unit, Hadiza Bala Usman, emphasized the importance of collaboration and data-driven governance, noting that effective data management is essential for validating progress and enhancing performance. Now to Lagos State, where the state's governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has called for innovation in the real estate sector while reaffirming his administration's commitment to ensuring sustainability and social inclusion in the sector. Speaking at the 5th Lagos Real Estate Marketplace Conference and Exhibition held on Tuesday, the governor emphasized the pivotal role of real estate in driving economic growth, social equity, and urban planning. He also stressed the need to embrace innovation and sustainability, aligning with the event's theme, reimagining Lagos landscape and ensuring sustainable real estate development practices. Highlighting the government's efforts to transform the sector, Sanwo-Olu pointed to initiatives such as investments in renewable energy, technology-driven urban planning, and intermodal transportation systems. To wrap up housing TV news at the top of the hour, on the foreign scene, Northern Ireland's Department of Communities has announced the publication of its housing supply strategy, which has received executive endorsement. The 15-year framework seeks to provide 100,000 homes by 2039, with 1/3 designated for social housing. In 39 pages, the strategy lays out 5 main objectives to create more affordable homes, prevent homelessness and intervention, improve housing quality and safety, create better placemaking, and create low-carbon, energy-efficient dwellings. That's the much we can take on housing TV news at the top of the hour. Before we go, a quick recap of our top stories. Senate advances bill to end exportation of raw materials. Southern lawmakers throw weight behind tax reform bill. FCT workers kick over January date for minimum wage. Rivers APC set up 9-man panel to investigate Secretariat bombing. On the foreign scene, Northern Ireland executive endorses pledge for 100,000 homes by 2039. For more news in the housing sector, subscribe to Housing TV Africa on YouTube and follow Housing TV on all social media platforms. Download the Housing TV mobile app on Google Play Store and Apple Store. I'm Joyce Wilson. Bye for now.
Visit Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts. On Facebook, Housing TV Africa. On Twitter, Housing TV Africa. Instagram, Housing TV Africa.
Housing TV Africa, your first in housing development broadcasting.